Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am your humble host, Fizz Ed Music, and this right here, this is Urban Politics. I want to thank you all for liking and subscribing as you do. Please, as soon as you have a chance, preferably right after this video, take your little cell phone over to YouTube, or you're probably watching this on YouTube. Why don't you go ahead and like and subscribe? Like and subscribe. Fizz Ed Music, Urban Politics. But without further ado, I want to jump right into it like a car and drive, because there's all types of tasty and delicious politics to sink our teeth into. Follow me, follow me, follow me. Check this out. First of all, we got to talk about the man of the hour always. You know what I'm saying? The Trumpster fire. Got to talk about. Unfortunately, if you're talking about politics, you have to talk about this guy. He dominates the news cycle. I get sick of talking about him. Everybody's sick of talking about him. We still got to talk about him. I'm not going to lie, though, ladies and gentlemen. I do think this is this will be some of the last days that we do talk about them, because in a minute here, Trump won't be relevant, because he will lose this election coming. I'm going to go ahead and prophesy that. I think he's going to lose this election. I'm riding on what my pops was telling me. I agree with pops. He's going to lose this election coming. He'll lose this election, and then he'll kind of go away. He's still going to be like this kind of demigod on the right, but he's aging. They'll have him on Fox News from time to time to weigh in on whatever's going in, calling him ex-president this and ex-president that and all of that other good stuff or whatever. But in a minute here, he just won't be relevant, and he won't be old enough anymore to be relevant or to have the time to fake relevancy. So anyway, moving on. Let's talk about him. Trump, he got a ton of indictments, right? This guy, first of all, this guy's like 91 criminal indictments. That's cartoonish. Where else but in America could anybody, let alone an ex-president, could anybody have 90 some indictments and still be walking around amongst us? Seriously. I mean, can you take the rule of law seriously in this country when you have a guy walking around, right, who has 90 some criminal indictments, right? I can remember back in the days, I'm talking about like, see, now I'm going off on a tangent. I'm going to make this real quick. I remember back in the days of the crack era, right? The crack era. Crack probably hit Columbus around 82, 83, 84. And it's like E40 said, he remember when the world went crazy back in 1989. I remember that, right? And I remember friends of mine coming up on indictments and secret indictments, which is when they low-key build a case against you and then haul your butt into court and you didn't even know they was watching you. A secret indictment. So all this stuff would happen, right? And it was big deals. I mean, I got one or two indictments that locked some of my boys up forever. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Or it was a good 10, 15 before they saw the light of day. It wasn't like this guy who walks around among us. He's got 90 some criminal indictments over his head. He still walk around like it ain't nothing. What do you call that? Well, he's got the complexion for the protection and he's got a ton of money. So that's what that equals in America, right? If you got the complexion for the protection and a ton of money, you're probably going to be all right. Some people would just say a ton of money. Talk to O.J. Simpson. I'm not black. I'm O.J. Anyway, moving on. So he got a ton of indictments, right? Falling asleep in court. Of course, on the right, they're painting that as a positive because they're like, this is a sham of a case anyway. He should be falling asleep. These indictments are made up and it's garbage and it should be boring to him. Blah, 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 blah. That's pathetic. This is an old, aging, failing, crippling man falling asleep at his own criminal indictment case. That ain't smooth. That ain't cute. That ain't fresh. That ain't none of that. What we're looking at is age. You know what I'm saying? This guy is decrepit. He's tired. He's sleepy all the time because he's 80 plus years old. Anyway, using all of this TV time as free campaign coverage like he always does. The media gives him tons of free TV time all the time. And then they sit back and they're surprised when he wins the presidency. Oh, we gave him all this free TV time, like CNN recording the stupidest stuff, the motorcade. Why do I care about the car that Trump took to come to the courthouse? Why do I care about how long it took him to get from the car to the courthouse? How long he sat in the courthouse before the judge hit the stand? How long that? Blow by blow of this garbage. Why they show this guy? Like he's famous. He knew they would do it. He gets tons of free TV time and then boom, he's president. Because he's been in your face for months before it was time to vote. Even if it was on the premise of this, what he's calling a sham of a trial, which is definitely not a sham. I mean, 90-some charge. How about this? 90-some criminal indictments. You did something, right? I mean, can we at least say, even if you sit on the right, Even if you're an evangelical fool, that's right, I said it, an evangelical fool who believes this guy's story, you know, so who got the hook in your mouth. Even if you're one of those people, come on now. 20 some criminal indictments, you did something right. Anyway, so there's that. At first Biden was saying he didn't want to debate him. Now he says he will debate him. I think Biden is just kind of pushing it. Why debate him now? Why now? Why? Biden is just looking good out here doing presidential things, running around with a good economy and all this stuff cracking, right? So why would I sit up there and debate Trump? First of all, when he debates Trump, he already knows what's going to come of it. Fox News and everybody on the right is going to say, oh, Joe Biden, he's got dementia. Look how he's Sleepy Joe. And even though their standard bearer is falling asleep in a courtroom where his freedom is on the line, Joe Biden is Sleepy Joe, and Sleepy Joe couldn't hold his own up against a strong Trump. Look how strong and dignified Trump looked, and look how he just fought against them, and just blah, 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 and it's gonna be garbage, right? So why is Biden running into that? He might as well go ahead and put that off a little while longer, closer to the presidency anyway. So there's that. There's that. I don't know what more to say about that. We're just gonna see how this stuff plays out with Trump. All these indictments, all these criminal charges, something's got to stick. Will he do some jail time? I'm not going to lie. I'm praying that he keeps messing up with this gag order. Because the judge in this gag, you know, who done put this gag order on said, if he keeps messing around, if he keeps going on Twitter saying this stuff, if he keeps coming after the judge and the judge's family, then he said that the jail time was not off the table. He said it was an option. So I'd love to see that happen. I would love to see Trump keep running his mouth and this judge just get fed up and throw him in jail. But he would definitely spend that. And the right would spend that. Oh my God. That might actually be the worst visual on the planet. Trump would love it because he loves to play the victim. The right love to play victim. And there he would be in a picture behind bars. They would friggin' love that. So a piece of me wants to see that because what's better than justice? Another piece of me knows it wouldn't be nothing but a big fat photo op for Trump and the GOP. So I'm conflicted with that. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about foreign policy, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Let's talk about Israel. I have not talked about Israel, and I'm sure you're wondering because I'm all things politics right here on Urban Politics, right? I ain't talked about Israel and Palestine because I've talked about it in the past. I've talked about it ad nauseum. I'm not going to lie. Once again, these people have been banging since Jesus has been walking the planet. So why would anything change that? Now, I've done a deep dive on Bibi Netanyahu and Hezbollah and Israel and all that stuff. And it looks like at one point he was funding them because, of course, he was using them as a prop because what better way to gain people support is if you have a strong enemy. Don't even tell people that you're secretly funding the enemy so they're a strong enemy, but they're a good prop for you to point the finger at and go after and make people think that they need you in power. Seems like a lot of the stuff that's been going on here has been going on there. So there's that, right? And you can go ahead and do your Googles on that, right? But I'm going to tell you this. Here's what's going on now, right? We got a whole lot of college kids, and they all are on the internet. They're all watching TikTok, right? And you know what I'm saying? They can see that Israel has the military might of NATO and the Palestinians do not. That's just that, right? When Israel bangs with the Palestinians, they're banging with our stuff. Those guns, them tanks, that's us. NATO is us. That is American military might. America has what? I think, if I'm wrong, please push back on me, but I think we have the #1 military on the planet because nobody's afraid like America. And nobody wants the way of life for Americans to stay status quo more than our American military, more than our president. That's the whole thing. They don't ever want life for you and yours to change. They talk about that. They want a can of soup to cost today, what it costs tomorrow, to cost what it'll cost next week, and so on and so on. We don't want the American people's way of life to change. So when they get into these conflicts and stuff like that, they want to make it quick. They want to shut people down. It is what it is. We got all the toys over here, and Israel has access to those toys because they got NATO backing them up. Palestine does not. They got toys, they got their thing, but they ain't got nothing up against the might of Israel. And time again, what has happened? And once again, please Google all of this because I'm really surmising what's going on over there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm kind of trying to give you the sound bite. But look, time and time again, Palestine has even said, hey, guess what? We're done. We're done. Let's go ahead and have a ceasefire. Let's go back to the way things were about you trying to push us off this little piece of land that y'all done left us alone here for a hot second with. Israel, nah, we don't want to stop. Y'all started it, we're keeping it going. Israel don't want to stop because they got all the guns, they got all the money. Why would they stop? They just gonna keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing until they push these people out of existence or out of that land. Because they got the money and the guns to do it. College kids see what I just said, ladies and gentlemen. They see it and they don't like it. And they see this, it's like a bully situation. It is. These are just facts I'm giving you, ladies and gentlemen. So, but then it's interesting, right? Let me watch my time. I'm running low on it. Oh my goodness. And I got an IPA to come at you with, right? Check it out. Okay, so when Bibi Netanyahu gets on the news and he says these protests on college campuses in support of Palestine, they have to stop, right? What? How's this guy over there in Israel dictating what's going on American college campuses? Because he's got that juice. Because America always supports Israel. You cannot stand up and say anything bad about Israel, right? And if you do, you will sure enough get quickly dealt with, all right? Ask Kanye West. Ask anybody. So here's that. Hey, look, some colleges have been able to work things out with the protesters. Some colleges have just been breaking up protest camps, which I think is infringing on the students' First Amendment right, freedom of speech, freedom to protest. I think that's infringing on their right to the free speech and right to protest, right? But that's going on. I think that even went on here at Ohio State's campus. There were some kids there who were protesting in support of Palestine. And I'm sure that low-key Governor DeWine made sure that was put the kibosh on that. Because DeWine is a Republican. And Republicans support Israel. So it don't look good with one of the biggest campuses in America to be protesting in support of Palestine. Anyway, that is what it is. So that's what's going on with that, ladies and gentlemen. The kids have access to this big bad internet, and they're able to see the truth. And when they see the truth, they tend to act out in support of the people who are probably being victimized. Anyway, moving on. Last thing before I get to this IPA of the week, check me out. I'm always talking about the government breaking bread, right? And they've done this through different programs. Now, there's a program that they did in Austin, Texas. There was a guaranteed basic income. And what it was $1,000 of no strings attached money given to people, right? So after they gave a lot of people this money, that they seen that after a year, fewer participants said that they were unable to afford a balanced meal. That's good, isn't it? They also reported reduced rates of housing instability. This program, it kicked off in May of 2022. 135 low-income families got $1,000 a month. Funding for 85 families came from the city of Austin. 50 families got philanthropic donations. That just means some rich people broke bread and gave 85 families $1,000 a month for a year. God bless them. On average, the program participants said that they spent more than half of the cash they received on housing. Ain't that something? People reported being unable to afford to eat a balanced meal decreased by 17%. So, you know what I'm saying? 17% less people said that they were unable to get a balanced meal due to this money. Other programs give low-income residents $500 a month. These are other programs started in other places, kind of mimicking this program. They got the other one that's giving residents who are low-income $500 a month. This other one gives young parents $1,000 a month. But a lot of these programs report the participants using the money on what? Housing and food. That probably is no news to you or I, right? People are using the majority of this money on housing and food. Usually when I've looked at some of these studies and voir dired a lot of them or whatever, you know it's the number one thing that people are spending this money on? Housing. There's no cap on housing, right? They're talking about this Intel plant that's coming here to Columbus. I've talked about it in nauseam on the show. I'll talk about it again. Where the HE double hockey sticks all these people gonna live? Where they gonna live? Ain't nowhere to live around here. There ain't. And all these places they building, I heard started like, 1,200, 1,500, whatever and up. Really? They're talking about some affordable housing. I've talked about it on the show. We'll see, but they said it really ain't enough. But it is what it is. Cities all over America have this problem until there's some kind of cap on rental rates. I say that having been a landlord in my day, and I'm probably not done being a landlord. I know I'm not done. But guess what? We can't be out here fleecing people. Nobody can be out here fleecing people. We have to figure out a way to do this. A good piece, I think, of this puzzle is this with Andrew Yang, who couldn't get the nomination for the Democratic Party, but I like this platform. A part of it was this guaranteed earned income, $1,000 a month for every American over 18. I love it. It needs to happen. The government is going to have to break bread. Me and my father have talked about it all the time. He always says there'll never be enough work for people who want to work. That's real. If you disagree, once again, you in the pushback zone. Feel free to push back. But it's the truth. There'll never be enough work for everybody who wants to work. We got automation coming in. It's going to put a lot of people out of jobs. We got AI coming in so tough, going to put tons more people out of jobs. Government, you're going to have to start giving back. You're going to have to start giving back. It is what it is, right? Anyway, let me move on to my IPA of the week. I got a 9.9% big, juicy bear hug of an IPA. This is a good one right here. And this is made by Goose Island. It says full of sunshine and tropical sweetness. I would agree. This right here, you know what this is? This is a really delicious, really strong beer. You drink this, you're done for the night. 9.9% alcohol right here. This is a Imperial IPA. Yeah, 19.2 fluid ounces. Woo-wee. This was delicious, ladies and gentlemen. This definitely capped off my night. This is all you need. Now, a guy like me, I probably do a couple of shots with this, but this is really all you need right here. This bear hug is going to hug you and give you a big, juicy kiss and send you to bed. So you got a little bit of money in your pocket. Run out and get you this big, juicy bear hug. Goes hard. Well, that is my time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your humble host, Fizz Ed Music, and this right here, this is Urban Politics. I want to thank you all for liking and subscribing as you do. Please, as soon as you have a chance, take your cell phone over to YouTube and please like and subscribe. Fizz Ed Music, Urban Politics. Hey, and as always, ladies and gentlemen, see you around like a donut.